The Lion and the Storm, King Henry VIII, a name that has echoed through the annals of history, leaving an indelible mark on the world. The name alone evokes a tempest of emotions, a whirlwind of thoughts and feelings that mirror the turbulent times he lived in. He was a king of immense power, unyielding will, and an insatiable thirst for love and glory. His presence commanded respect and fear in equal measure. His reign was a whirlwind of political intrigue, religious upheaval, and personal drama. Every decision he made, every action he took reverberated through the corridors of power. Henry's every desire, every whim sent shockwaves through the very fabric of England. His influence was felt in every corner of the kingdom, from the grandest palaces to the humblest villages. He was a force of nature, a lion roaring in the face of tradition. His defiance of established norms and his relentless pursuit of his goals set him apart from other monarchs. Henry's story is not just that of a king, but a tale of love, betrayal, and ambition. His relationships were as tumultuous as his reign, filled with passion and treachery. It's a story that continues to fascinate and enthrall us centuries later. The legacy of Henry VIII is one that has been studied, debated and retold countless times, a story woven into the very tapestry of English history. His life and reign are threads that run through the fabric of the nation's past, shaping its present and future. This is the story of Henry VIII, a king who dared to challenge the world and in doing so changed it forever. His bold actions and decisions left an indelible mark on history. From his lavish palaces to the bloody battlefields, Henry's presence loomed large. He was a man who lived life on a grand scale, leaving a legacy that is still felt today. He was a man of contradictions, a devout Catholic who broke with Rome, a loving husband who beheaded his wives. His actions were often at odds with his beliefs, creating a complex and multifaceted character. But through it all, Henry remained a figure of immense power and undeniable charisma. His ability to command attention and inspire loyalty was unmatched. His reign was a time of great change and upheaval, a time when the old world gave way to the new. The Renaissance was in full swing, and Henry's actions helped to shape the course of history. And at the center of it all stood Henry VIII, the lion in the storm, shaping England's destiny with an iron fist. His legacy is one of power, passion, and profound impact on the world. The year was 1491. The Tudor dynasty, newly established on the English throne, was still finding its footing. On a warm June day, within the grand walls of Greenwich Palace, a prince was born. This prince, the second son of King Henry VII and Elizabeth of York, was christened Henry. Greenwich Palace, with its sweeping views of the River Thames, was a place of both grandeur and intimacy. It was within these walls that young Henry, a prince of boundless energy and a keen mind, spent his early years. He was a skilled horseman, a talented musician, and excelled in the arts of war. But fate had other plans for the young prince. His older brother, Arthur, the heir to the throne, died suddenly. Henry, at the tender age of 11, found himself thrust into the center of courtly life. The weight of the Tudor dynasty now rested on his young shoulders. His education intensified. He was groomed for kingship, schooled in the art of diplomacy, warfare, and governance. Yet beneath the surface of courtly life, Henry never forgot the lessons learned in the gardens of Greenwich, lessons that would shape the king he would become. Henry VIII's reign was one marked by a tumultuous personal life, most notably his 6 marriages. His quest for a male heir and his relentless pursuit of love and power defined his rule and reshaped the English monarchy. Each wife played a significant role in shaping the king and his reign. Their influence extended beyond the personal realm, affecting political alliances, religious reforms, and the very fabric of the Tudor court. Catherine of Aragon, the first and longest-lasting of his queens, bore him a daughter, Mary. A devout Catholic, Catherine's marriage to Henry was initially strong, but it eventually crumbled under the weight of Henry's desperation for a son. However, Henry's desire for a male heir and his infatuation with Anne Boleyn led him to seek an annulment. This decision not only ended his marriage to Catherine, but also set the stage for England's break with the Catholic Church.
Anne Boleyn, a woman of sharp intellect and unwavering ambition, became my obsession. Her charm and wit were unmatched, and she quickly became the center of my world. Our love story, shrouded in secrecy and defiance, captivated the court. Anne's influence over me was profound, and she played a crucial role in the religious and political upheavals of the time. But our happiness was short-lived. The pressures of producing a male heir and the intrigues of the court took their toll on our relationship. Anne's failure to produce a son and my roving eye ultimately led to her downfall. Accusations of treason and infidelity sealed her fate, and she was executed, leaving a lasting shadow over my reign.
Jane Seymour, a lady-in-waiting to Anne, captured Henry's heart. Her gentle and demure nature was a stark contrast to Anne's fiery spirit. Gentle and demure, she finally gave Henry the male heir he craved, Edward, but died shortly after childbirth. Her death was a profound loss for Henry, who mourned her deeply. Anne of Cleves followed, a political alliance that quickly dissolved. Their marriage was annulled after just 6 months, but Anne remained in England and was treated with respect and generosity by Henry. Catherine Howard, a young and vivacious girl, brought a fleeting sense of joy to the aging king. Her youthful exuberance was a breath of fresh air, but it also led to her downfall. Sadly, her alleged infidelity led to her execution. The scandal rocked the court and further tarnished Henry's reputation. Finally, Catherine Parr, a woman of great intellect and religious conviction, provided companionship and stability in Henry's final years. She was a nurturing presence, caring for Henry and his children. She outlived the king, a testament to her strength and wisdom. Catherine Parr's influence extended beyond Henry's death, as she continued to play a role in the upbringing of his children and the religious direction of the country. Each of these women, in their own way, left an indelible mark on Henry's life and the course of English history. Their stories are a testament to the complexities of love, power, and ambition in the Tudor era.
Anne Boleyn was not content to be merely a royal mistress. She was a woman of ambition and intellect, determined to carve out a significant role for herself in the annals of history. She possessed a sharp mind and an unyielding spirit that refused to be sidelined. Anne's influence over Henry VIII was profound, and she used her position to advocate for religious and political reforms.
Henry, consumed by his desire for Anne and a male heir, found himself clashing with the Pope and the Catholic Church. His desperation to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon led to a monumental conflict with the papacy. The annulment he desperately sought from Catherine of Aragon was denied, creating a rift that would have far-reaching consequences. This clash of wills ignited a firestorm that would consume England and forever alter its religious landscape. The Reformation began to take root, fueled by Henry's determination and Anne's influence.
Henry, fueled by his love for Anne and his own stubborn will, made a momentous decision. He chose to break away from the authority of the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church. He declared himself supreme head of the Church of England, a bold move that allowed him to marry Anne and solidify his power. Anne was crowned queen, a position she had fought so hard to attain.
The establishment of the Church of England was a seismic event. It marked the beginning of a new era in English history, one that would see the country break away from centuries-old religious traditions. It sent shockwaves across Europe, fracturing centuries of religious unity. The Reformation spread, challenging the dominance of the Catholic Church and leading to widespread religious upheaval. Monasteries were dissolved, their wealth confiscated. The dissolution of the monasteries was a significant aspect of Henry's Reformation, redistributing wealth and power. The familiar rituals and traditions of the Catholic faith were replaced with new doctrines and practices. Protestantism began to take hold, reshaping the religious landscape of England.
Ironically, Anne's triumph was tragically short-lived. Despite her significant role in the Reformation, her inability to provide a male heir led to her downfall. Unable to provide the king with a male heir and accused of adultery and treason, she met her end on the executioner's block. Her execution was a stark reminder of the volatile nature of Tudor politics. But the legacy of her defiance, her unwavering spirit, and her role in the birth of a new church would forever be etched in the annals of English history. Anne Boleyn's story is a testament to the power of ambition and the far-reaching impact of personal and political defiance.
Henry VIII understood that true power lay not only in military might but also in the ability to project force across the seas. He inherited a modest navy, but under his reign it underwent a remarkable transformation.
Henry poured resources into shipbuilding, recognizing the strategic importance of a strong naval force. During his rule, the Royal Navy increased tenfold, a testament to his ambition and strategic foresight.
No longer would England be confined to its island shores. Henry's warships, armed with powerful cannons, patrolled the English Channel, safeguarding the realm from foreign threats.
The expansion of the Navy wasn't merely about defense. It was about projecting English power and prestige. It laid the foundation for England's future as a maritime power, a force to be reckoned with on the world stage.
Henry's investment in shipbuilding, his understanding of naval power, set in motion a chain of events that would shape England's destiny for centuries to come. The seeds of a global empire sown during Henry's reign would eventually blossom into the vast British Empire. To support his rapidly expanding navy, Henry VIII knew he needed more than just ships. He needed a dedicated infrastructure for building and maintaining them. This led to the establishment of the Royal Dockyards, a decision that would forever alter the landscape of English shipbuilding. Deptford, strategically located on the River Thames, became the first of these royal dockyards. Here, skilled shipwrights, carpenters and labourers toiled tirelessly, their hammers ringing out a symphony of industry. Soon after, Woolwich followed, its vast shipyards echoing with the sounds of construction. These dockyards were more than just workplaces, they were thriving hubs of innovation and craftsmanship. New shipbuilding techniques were developed and designs were refined, all under the watchful eye of the king. The royal dockyards became the heart and soul of the English Navy. They stood as symbols of Henry's ambition, his determination to transform England into a naval power capable of challenging any foe. The legacy of these dockyards, their contribution to England's maritime dominance, would long outlive the reign of the king who created them.